fragile, when my prayers sounded smaller than the fears inside my chest. I carried faith like a candle, trying to survive the wind, hoping it would stay alive long enough to guide me home. I used to think that real believers never tremble, never fell, that strong hearts never question the roads they had to walk. But life began to teach me what sermons never said, that even honest faith can sometimes feel afraid. I stood inside my weakness with nothing left to prove, wondering if you still listen when I had no strength to move. The night became my teacher, the silence my closest friend, and in that humble stillness I learned to trust again. When my faith felt small, you didn't turn away. When my faith felt small, you taught my heart to stay. Now with thunder from the heavens, now with signs for me to see. When my faith felt small, your mercy carried me. I used to measure courage by how loudly I could pray, by how confident my answers sounded at the end of the day. Now I know that sometimes faith is quieter than breath, a simple choice to hold on when nothing makes much sense. You never asked for greatness, you never asked for more than a heart that keeps on coming back to knock upon your door. And though I felt uncertain, and though I felt untrue, you never grew impatient with the fragile parts of me too. I brought you all my doubting, my restless, weary soul, and found that you were gentle with the things I couldn't hold. The world said I was failing, that real faith never breaks, but you called me beloved, even in my worst mistakes. When my faith felt small, you met me on the floor. When my faith felt small, you loved me even more. You didn't ask for bravery, you didn't ask for fame. When my faith felt small, you whispered my name. There are days I still feel empty, there are nights I still feel weak, there are moments I grow tired of the answers that I seek. But now I know the secret that the broken come to learn, that small faith in a big God is enough to make the turn. You don't need mighty warriors, you don't need fearless saints, you only need a heart that says I'll trust you while I wait. So I stopped pretending to be stronger than I really am inside. I stopped acting like a hero with nothing left to hide. I came to you as I was, uncertain, worn and thin, and found your arms still open when I thought I couldn't win. When my faith felt small, your love remained the same. When my faith felt small, you covered all my shame. Not because I was worthy, not because I was brave. When my faith fell small, your grace became my way. If your faith feels tiny, if your hope feels hard to find, remember God is near you, even when you're far behind. He doesn't need perfection, He doesn't need your mind. He only needs your honesty to meet you in the night. When my faith fell small, I learned what trust can be. When my faith fell small, you were still loving me. And even in the quiet, when doubts would rise and fall, when my faith fell small, you were bigger than it all. There were nights when praying felt like talking to an empty room with no reply, when every word I whispered sounded hollow in the dark. I folded my hands out of habit, not out of hope, and wondered if heaven could hear a heart that felt so far away. I used to think real prayer was full of fire and tears, full of passion and power, full of certainty and light. But now my prayers were fragile, like tired birds with broken wings, barely leaving my chest before falling back to the floor. I kept saying your name, even when it felt unreal. I kept kneeling in the silence, even when nothing seemed to heal. And in that honest struggle, I learned a hidden truth, that praying without feeling is still praying to you. When I prayed without feeling, you didn't turn your face away. When I prayed without feeling, you heard every word I couldn't say. Not because my faith was strong, not because my heart was brave. When I prayed without feeling, your mercy made a way. I thought you only listened to voices filled with fire. I thought you only answered when hearts were lifted higher. But you came close in weakness, you came close in doubt. You stayed beside the broken when their strength was running out. You never asked for thunder, you never asked for flame. You only asked for honesty spoken in your name. So I kept coming to you with nothing left to give but simple quiet breathing and the will to try and live. Some nights I only whispered, some nights I only cried, some nights I sat in silence with my questions deep inside. Yet even in the emptiness, even in the pain, I felt your gentle presence like a soft and steady rain. When I prayed without feeling, you met me where I stood. When I prayed without feeling, you called my broken good. You didn't need perfection, you didn't need a show. When I prayed without feeling, your love began to grow. I learned that prayer is not a performance, not a speech we must rehearse. It's simply turning towards you with the best and with the worst. It's bringing you out nothing when nothing's all we've got. It's trusting you are faithful even when our faith is not. The room no longer frightened me, the silence lost its sting. I found that even empty prayers are precious to the King. And slowly without warning, my heart began to mend. Not because I felt it, but because you called me friend. When I pray without feeling, your peace began to rise. When I pray without feeling, I saw hope behind my eyes. Not in sudden miracles, not in perfect days. When I pray without feeling, you taught my soul to stay. So if you kneel in dryness, if your prayers feel thin and weak, remember God is listening, even when you cannot speak. He doesn't need your passion, he doesn't need your might. He only needs your presence in the middle of the night. When I pray without feeling, I learn what grace can do. When I pray without feeling, I find my way to you. And even when my heart is cold and every joy seems far, when I pray without feeling, you love me as I am. There were nights when my mind filled with questions. I didn't dare to speak out loud, afraid they might sound like doubt, afraid they might sound like unbelief. I carried them quietly, like fragile glass inside my chest, turning them over in the dark, wondering if you would be offended by the things I couldn't understand. I thought good believers were never supposed to wonder. I thought faithful hearts were never supposed to struggle. So I tried to swallow my confusion, to hide my restless thoughts away, pretending that not knowing meant I had somehow failed to pray. But you already knew my quest before I learned to name them. You already saw the fear in me before I found the words to say. And in the middle of my silence, I discovered something true, that you are not afraid of the things I bring to you. When my questions had no voice, you listened all the same. When my questions had no voice, you called me by my name. Not with anger or rejection, not with shame I had to bear. When my questions had no voice, I found your mercy there. I used to think you needed neat and tidy prayers, clean confessions, perfect phrases, answers ready in the air. But life grew complicated and faith grew hard to hold, and all my simple certainties began to feel so old. The world became much bigger, than I had ever planned. My little understanding no longer seemed to stand, and there inside the breaking of everything I knew, I found a deeper kind of faith that didn't fear the truth. You never asked for ignorance, you never asked for blind, you only asked for honesty with heart and soul and mind. So I brought you all my wandering, my tangled restless soul, and learned that you were patient with the parts I couldn't hold. When my questions had no voice, you held them in your hands. When my questions had no voice, you helped me understand. Not every doubt is faithless, not every fear is wrong. When my questions had no voice, you proved your love was strong. Some answers come like thunder, some answers never come. Some stay hidden in the mystery until our days are done. But I have learned a secret that sets the weary free, that trusting doesn't always mean we clearly have to see. It sometimes means believing while standing in the grave, holding on to heaven when the road has lost its way. And you don't push me to be certain, you don't demand I understand, you simply walk beside me and gently take my hand. When my questions had no voice, you never turned away. When my questions had no voice, you taught my heart to pray. Not with perfect explanations, not with the wisdom I could claim. When my questions had no voice, you loved me just the same. So now I bring my wandering without a trace of fear. I know you are not distant when the answers disappear. If all I have is silence, if all I have is trust, I'll still believe you're faithful, I'll still believe you're just. Because faith is not pretending that everything is clear, it's learning how to follow even when the path seems near. And if my questions linger, and if the night feels long, I know you will be with me until the breaking dawn. When my questions had no voice, I learned what love can do. When my questions had no voice, I learned to rest in you. And even in the mystery where answers are not found, when my questions had no voice, your grace was all around. There were days when even standing felt heavy, when the simplest things seemed harder than they used to be. My mind kept racing in circles, trying to fix what I couldn't change, trying to understand the seasons that refuse to make sense. I wanted to be stronger, I wanted to be brave, but all I had inside me was the strength to face another day. My prayers grew shorter, not because I stopped believing, but because my soul grew tired of trying to find the perfect word. Some nights I had no speech, some nights I had no song, some nights all I could offer was the sound of breathing on. And there in that small surrender, I felt something gently true, that sometimes staying present is the closest prayer to you. When I could only breathe, you counted every sigh. When I could only breathe, you heard the silent cry. I didn't need 1,000 words, I didn't need to plead. When I could only breathe, you were enough for me. I used to think devotion meant never feeling weak. I used to think real worship was loud enough to speak. But you taught me something kinder, something patient, something deep, that faith is not always singing, sometimes it's learning how to sleep. You don't despise the weary, you don't turn from the warm, you sit beside the broken until their strength is slowly born. And in the quiet moments when nothing else would move, I learned that simple breathing was still a way to choose to stay here trusting, to choose to not let go, to choose to keep on living, even when the answers are slow. When I could only breathe, you met me in that place. When I could only breathe, I felt your patient grace. No sermons, no demand, no heavy weight to keep. When I could only breathe, your love was still with me. There is a holy kind of weakness the world will never see, a sacred form of courage that looks like honesty. It's waking up still hurting, yet choosing to remain. It's facing one more morning in the middle of the pain. And you don't ask for victory, you don't ask for a show, you only ask for hearts that are willing not not to go. So I stopped fighting my limits. I stopped fearing every fall. I learned that just surviving is sometimes giving all. The room became an altar. The night became a friend, and breathing became worship that didn't need to pretend. When I could only breathe, your mercy filled the air. When I could only breathe, I knew that you were there. Not in signs and wonders, not in things I see. When I could only breathe, you stayed close to me. If you are barely standing, if your strength has run away, remember God is faithful, even in the smallest day. He hears the quiet heartbeat. He knows the tired soul. He meets the ones still breathing when they've lost their sense of control. When I could only breathe, I learned what faith can be. There were seasons when fear felt like a shadow, walking close behind my steps, never loud, never screaming, just steady and hard to escape. It followed me through mornings, through crowded rooms and quiet nights, whispering all the things I didn't want to believe. I tried to outrun it with courage, try to silence it with faith, try to pretend it wasn't there, but it always found its way back home. I thought real believers never trembled in the dark. I thought trusting you completely meant never feeling afraid. So I carried my fear in secret, hiding it beneath my prayers, acting like brave words could make it disappear. But you never asked for pretending, you never asked for disguise. You only asked for honesty in the place where the truth resides. When my fear found a friend, you didn't shame my soul. When my fear found a friend, you gently made me whole. You didn't call me faithless, you didn't turn away. When my fear found a friend, your love taught me to stay. I learned that fear is human. It lives where hearts can break. It grows in fragile moments when too much is at stake. But fear is not the master of every trembling breath. It doesn't own the future, it doesn't write the rest. You showed me something deeper than trying to be bold, that trust in you while shaking is stronger than control. So I stopped fighting the feeling, I stopped pretending to be fine. I brought my honest trembling to the mercy mercy I could find. And there inside your presence, where nothing had to hide, my fear began to soften and slowly change inside. When my fear found a friend, I learned to rest again. When my fear found a friend, oh, I felt your healing hand. Not by sudden bravery, not by perfect faith. Yes, when my fear found a friend, you met me in that place. Yeah, some battles are not conquered by shouting loud and strong. Some are slowly mended by staying where we belong. And you don't ask for heroes, you don't ask for my hero. You only ask for hearts that come to you at night. I used to run from weakness, thinking it would win. Now I bring it to your kindness and let the healing in. Because courage is an absence of every anxious thought. It's choosing to keep trusting when trust is hard and fraught. When my fear found a friend, your peace began to grow. When my fear found a friend, I learned what faith can know. Not every fear must vanish for hope to still be true. When my fear found a friend, it led me back to you. So if you walk with worries you can't seem to outrun, remember God is near you long before the battle's won. Oh, and He isn't scared of trembling, He isn't shocked by pain. He meets you in your weakness and calls you by your name. When my fear found a friend, oh, I found a deeper grace. Oh, when my fear found a friend, I saw your patient face. And even when the night returns with doubts I cannot mend, or when my fear finds a friend, oh, your love will never end. Oh. There were nights when the dark felt endless, when the hours stretched like roads. I didn't know how to walk. I lay awake with my question, counting worries instead of stars, wondering how a tired heart could ever learn to rest again. The silence used to frighten me, it sounded too much like defeat. I thought that every quiet moment meant you would turn away from me. I waited for a miracle, for something loud and clear, for proof that all my struggling was somehow being heard. But heaven stayed so gentle, so patient and so still. And I began to realize that maybe quiet has a will. The night became a classroom, and I became a child, learning lessons I resisted in the busyness of life. You didn't shout instructions, you didn't force my hand, you simply sat beside me and helped me understand. When the night voice awakened me. I used to fight the darkness, to push it far away, believing only sunlight could guide me through the day. But you revealed a secret my soul had never known, that sometimes deepest healing is planted in the unknown. The night is not an enemy, it doesn't mean the end. It's often just a place where broken hearts can mend, in quiet rooms and long delays, in tears I couldn't hide. You shaped a stronger kind of faith that learned to wait inside. I learned that trusting doesn't mean I have to understand. It only means believing you will never leave my hand. When the night taught me to trust, I found a deeper way. When the night taught me to trust, I learned to kneel and pray. Not because the road was clear, not because the fear was gone. When the night taught me to trust, my soul kept moving on. Some truths are only whispered, some hope is only slow, some faith is only formed where fragile people go. And you don't waste the shadows, you don't ignore the pain. You use the quiet moments to help our hearts remain. Now when the evening finds me with burdens on my chest, I no longer run from stillness, I let it teach me rest. Because I know you're with me even when I cannot see, and every darkened hour is still a place to be free. When the night taught me to trust, I wasn't left alone. When the night taught me to trust, I felt your love come home. Not in sudden miracles, not in perfect sight. When the night taught me to trust, you carried me through the night. So if you face a darkness that feels too deep to bear, remember God is waiting even when the room feels bare. He doesn't fear your questions, He doesn't rush your pain. He walks beside the weary until the light remains. When the night